In 2024, over 1.8 million Africans lined up for a shot at a US visa. More than half walked away empty-handed, denied without clear reasons. Many spent hundreds of dollars on fees, flights, and stacks of paperwork, only to hear one word: no. For years, that's been the reality, a locked door. But in 2025, that lock might come off its hinges. Not for the entire continent, but for 10 African nations, the US is quietly lining up for a historic shift. Visa-free entry. No interviews, no consulate waits, no visa at all. A passport, a plane ticket, and you're in. This isn't about kindness. It's strategy. It's global competition. And it's a move so bold it could shake immigration policy like nothing before. Now here's the question you need to ask yourself as we dive in. Which African nation once branded a security risk is now being waved through without a single visa check? Why is Washington suddenly rolling out the welcome mat for countries it once overlooked or even sanctioned? Is this a play to pull Africa's brightest minds away from China and Russia? Before we unpack the list and expose the real motives, hit that subscribe button so you never miss what others won't cover. Share this now, because when this policy drops, the headlines will be everywhere, but the truth will be buried. Africa's rise is coming. Take South Africa, a nation of 62 million, home to the continent's most diverse economy, and a passport that already opens doors to over 100 countries. Yet for years, its citizens still needed a visa to step foot in the US, a process many called humiliating given its deep trade ties with Washington. That tide is shifting fast. America knows South Africa is no ordinary partner. It's a G20 nation, a BRICS heavyweight, and the US's largest trading partner in Africa. Two-way trade hit $22 billion in 2024. Its platinum, gold, and rare earth metals are essential for US tech and EV industries. Washington isn't leaving that to Beijing. This policy isn't just about money, it's a chess move. South Africa has grown louder on the world stage, backing Palestine at the UN, tightening military ties with Russia and China, and challenging Western influence. Visa-free travel is America's velvet handshake, a soft power play designed to pull Pretoria closer. For everyday South Africans, it's a game changer. No visa fees, no embassy interviews, a passport and a ticket to the US. For Washington, it's a calculated bet. Open doors, open influence. Next up, Kenya, known as the Silicon Savannah, and for good reason. Nairobi's $3 billion tech scene birthed M-Pesa, the mobile banking giant that reshaped finance worldwide. In 2024, Kenya ranked 5th among African buyers of US exports, with $500 million in goods crossing the Atlantic. But Washington sees more than trade. It sees an ally. The US runs operations out of Camp Simba in Manda Bay, a critical base against al-Shabaab and ISIS in East Africa. No other country in the region matches Kenya's mix of stability, infrastructure, and cooperation. This visa-free deal is both a reward and a recruitment tool. Kenya recently inked a 5-year defense pact with the US, expanding training, arms sales, and joint ops. It even hosted the first US-Africa Space Forum, hinting at future ventures beyond Earth. For Kenyans, this policy could reshape lives. Developers can attend US tech conferences without months of red tape. Entrepreneurs can seize opportunities that were once out of reach. And this is only the beginning. Farmers could soon be sealing export deals face-to-face. For students, the ability to walk across Ivy League campuses without battling the visa lottery could change their lives forever. But behind the warm handshake is strategy. Washington is countering China's massive investments in Kenya's railways and ports. Visa freedom may look like friendship, yet it's also leverage, a way to keep Nairobi firmly within America's reach. And that's not all. Next on the list, Nigeria, the giant of Africa. over 223 million people. The biggest GDP on the continent, $477 billion in 2024. A force in oil, gas, and an unstoppable tech scene. Yet Nigerian travelers have faced years of heavy scrutiny, tagged with stereotypes and burdened with some of the toughest US visa rejection rates in the world. If America swings the door open to Nigeria visa-free, the impact goes far beyond economics. It's demographic dynamite. Nigerian Americans already rank among the most educated immigrant groups in the country. 59% have a bachelor's degree or higher, compared to the US average of 33%. From medicine to engineering to IT, Nigerians punch far above their weight in America's most competitive fields. Washington sees the potential, an influx of talent, investors, and innovators ready to fuel a slowing economy and offset an aging workforce. But there's another layer. Nigeria is also China's biggest African trade partner, with $23 billion in trade recorded in 2024. The US wants that influence back. For everyday Nigerians, visa-free entry would erase the endless consulate lines in Lagos and Abuja, open doors to family reunions, global summits, and investment deals without red tape. For America, it's access to Africa's most dynamic minds. But it could also ignite debates over migration, job competition, and brain drain. Then there's Ghana, a West African star rising fast, its economy surging 4.8% in 2024, fueled by gold, cocoa, and a booming tech wave. Ghana's stability and investor-friendly policies make it a magnet for diaspora money and global capital. To Washington, it's a reliable ally in a region too often rattled by coups. US agencies have poured millions into Ghana's energy projects, from the Millennium Challenge Corporation to the US International Development Finance Corporation. Visa-free travel would lock these ties in even tighter, giving Ghanaian entrepreneurs, students, and tourists seamless access to US markets. And this is also about culture. Ghana's historic Year of Return in 2019 drew thousands of African Americans exploring their ancestral roots, bringing in $1.9 billion in tourism revenue. Visa-free entry could supercharge this connection, forging even stronger people-to-people bonds. For Washington, it's soft power. For Beijing, it's competition. For Ghanaians, it's the tearing down of a wall that has kept opportunities out of reach. For America, it's a strategic win in West Africa's heart. Then there's Morocco, perched where Africa meets Europe, with coasts on the Atlantic and the Mediterranean. A NATO partner, a key counter-terrorism hub, a renewable energy leader. Morocco's Tangier Medport is the largest in Africa, a logistics powerhouse connecting continents. In 2024, it shipped $3.1 billion worth of goods to the US, from phosphates to textiles, and its role on the world stage is only growing. The motive behind Morocco's visa-free offer couldn't be clearer. Washington wants to lock in deeper military and economic ties, especially as Morocco rises as a leader in green hydrogen and solar energy. But there's another twist most people miss. Morocco normalized relations with Israel under the Abraham Accords, a US-brokered deal Washington is determined to protect. Visa-free entry becomes a diplomatic sweetener, rewarding loyalty and alignment on key issues. For Moroccans, this means an easier path to US universities, global tech events, and booming tourism. For America, it's a foothold in North Africa, a shield against China's expanding investments and Russia's moves across the Sahel. This is bigger than travel. It's about securing allies in one of the world's most contested regions. Then comes Egypt, home to 110 million people, the ancient Suez Canal, and a legacy that shaped civilization itself. In 2024, over 12% of global trade sailed through that canal, making Egypt a critical artery of global commerce. Washington's ties with Cairo have always been complicated, balancing military aid with human rights criticisms. The US sends $1.3 billion a year in military assistance to Egypt, second only to Israel. Offering visa-free travel would be a bold signal, a new phase of engagement despite political friction. For Egyptians, it unlocks opportunities for tourism, education, and trade. For Washington, it helps ensure Cairo remains firmly aligned with US interests as Russia and China deepen their presence. Ethiopia follows. Africa's second most populous nation, with 126 million people, a growing economy, and scars from recent conflicts. In 2024, Ethiopia sealed peace deals that reopened trade routes and revived its manufacturing ambitions. For Washington, visa-free access is a chance to repair ties after years of tension over human rights. It's also a competition play. China has poured billions into Ethiopia's railways, industrial parks, and telecoms. The US wants influence back. For Ethiopians, this opens a bigger window to connect with family and opportunities across America. Ethiopian communities already thrive in Washington, D.C. and Minneapolis. This move could supercharge those connections. For America, it secures influence over the Horn of Africa, a region vital for Red Sea shipping and counter-terrorism. Senegal is next, a West African democracy that's become a rare beacon of stability. In 2024, its GDP grew 5.3%, fueled by offshore oil and gas. Dakar, its capital, is now a cultural powerhouse of music, fashion, and film. Washington's motives here are clear. Senegal hosts a key US military hub at Dakar's airport, critical for regional operations. Visa-free travel would reward Senegal's stable politics and pro-Western diplomacy. For Senegalese citizens, it's a gateway to expand education, trade, and cultural exchange. For the US, it's an investment in a democratic partner in a turbulent region. Finally, Botswana, a nation small in population, only 2.6 million, but massive in governance and resources. It's the world's top diamond producer by value and a global symbol of good governance and transparency. In 2024, Botswana renegotiated its diamond deal with De Beers, taking greater control of its resources. Washington sees a model partner here, stable, resource-rich, and ready for deeper collaboration. Visa-free entry would strengthen economic and tourism ties while giving Botswana's citizens unprecedented access to US education and business opportunities. For Washington, it's proof on the world stage that good governance delivers real rewards. Then comes Tanzania, a land of natural wonder and untapped potential. Home to Mount Kilimanjaro, the Zanzibar Spice Islands, and vast natural gas fields, this nation is fast on the rise. In 2024, its economy expanded by 5.1%, powered by tourism, agriculture, and major energy projects. America's interest here runs deeper than scenery. Tanzania occupies a prime position on the Indian Ocean, a strategic gateway for East African trade. Visa-free entry would tighten economic ties, boost tourism, and connect markets in ways that shift regional power balances. For Tanzanians, it's an easier bridge to a thriving diaspora already in the United States, with doors opening for family reunions, business ventures, and education. For America, it's another calculated move to counter China's growing footprint across East Africa. And here's where you have to zoom out. This story is about more than plane tickets and passport stamps. It's about influence, strategy, and a new chapter in US-Africa relations. Visa-free entry for these 10 nations has the potential to reshape migration, education, trade, and diplomacy in ways the world hasn't fully grasped yet. So ask yourself, who truly gains the upper hand? The people crossing borders, or the powers swinging the gates wide open?